So this is an exhibit on the first issue of Bundi, which I call the Dagger issue, because the stamp is nothing but a design of a dagger facing left or right, and the native words in Hindi saying Raj Bundi and the denomination. I have the first I start off with is a mint copy. There's only one of 4 known mint copies. And then I have a used copy, which is one of 4 known copies. Again, these all certified. This has a Royal certificate, this has a BPA certificate. Then we have one on cover. This is all SG1. And we have one on cover, again, it has a Royal certificate. This is an amazing stamp. This has the error where the word Ad is on top, but Ana is on the, Na is on the bottom. For A is on top, Na is on the bottom. It's a very famous error. This is only one of 2 known copies. And this has a BPA certificate also. Then we come to the next issue, which was issued right around the same time, maybe a couple months later. Now, these were printed from a single hand die, 1 impression at a time. This is printed from a plate, as you can see, with a large multiple. This is the earliest known cover bearing a Bundi stamp. It's dated 12 February 1894. And this is a discovery item because it's listed, the issue year is listed as December 1894. This clearly says 12 February 1894, well before the issue date. And this also predates the earliest known date by 8 months. This is the second earliest known cover, and this is dated 5 April 1894. Then we have this stamp in large block, a used block of 4. This has the error Ad Ana is on top and Raj Bundi is on the bottom. It should have been the other way around. This again is ex Dan Walker. This error happened only once in a sheet of 294 stamps. This is an error where the top right corner ornament is missing. The stamp had ornaments on all 4 corners. This one is missing over here. Again, a positional error. This happened only once in a sheet of 294. Here we have the positional error where the value is on top, Adana, and the name Raj Bundi is on the bottom. And here we have, again, the same error from a different position. So this happened, normal stamp bears the state name. The error occurred in positions row 1 through 10. So row 1 from position 2 to 10. So 9 stamps in a sheet had this error. This is position 1, row 1, position 4. This is row 1, position 8. Same error, Adhana on top, Raj Bundi on the bottom. This is also positional error. Last 2 letters of the value is dropped. If you notice very carefully, Na is on the bottom. A and Na on the bottom. And this error occurred on rows 2, position 11, row 8, position 3, and row 10, position 1, on the pane containing 11 by 14 stamps. This is believed to be the only known cover with this error. Then we come to the next issue, again, Adhana. This is SG3, my number 3 as well. This is a nice, I have a large block over here. This is a complete left pane of 84. I have windowed it because of shortage of space. Here's a used block. Positional error, value Adha instead of Ad. It reads Adha. Right here is Dha. And if you look, that is the correct Ad. So it's supposed to be Ad, not Adha. This was discovered by me. It's not listed in any book or catalog. Here's that on cover. Here's the positional error, Na on the bottom, right there. And then, so these were printed in 2 panes. The sheet had 2 panes, a left and a right pane. This is the left pane, this is the right pane. Again, positional errors, last two letters, na is on the bottom. This happens on the right pane on the position 1, row 1, position 1. And that's the same error, row 1, position 1 used. This is the only known cover with the positional error. Na is on the bottom. Na on the bottom. And then here, bottom right stamp has the positional error. So basically all the positions that this error is known, it's listed over, it's shown over here. Then we come to the 1 on a stamp. This is on cover, tough, but clearly philatelic. So is this one, it's a philatelic cover, but it's almost impossible to find them in commercially used covers. Then we have the same 1 on a slightly different color, called Indian red and brick red. Then we have the 2 onas, and the 2 ana comes in 2 different colors, yellow and pale yellow. I put the quantities printed. Luckily, we are lucky that the quantities of every one of these stamps has been recorded. The first stamp, of course, is the only one that is not recorded. But after that, this was a quantity of only 10,000 stamps were printed. The next stamp, SG3, the quantity was 12,800 only. The 1 on a stamp was only 1,600 copies. So you can imagine how scarce it has to be. And this, I'm assuming, is probably the largest known multiple, because only 1,600 copies were printed. The 1 ana in the other shade is a little bit more common, 4,000 copies, which is nothing. If you think about it, compared to the Indian litho stamps, which is printed in lakhs and lakhs. This was only printed in quantity of 1,600, also the 2 ana. And this 2 ana yellow green was printed in quantity of 2,000 as well. Then we come to the 4 anas. Obviously extremely rare. Only 800 copies were printed in 1897. And then we come to the 8 anas. Only 400 copies were printed. I have an amazing cover with the 8 ana on cover. Here's a nice block of 6. Then we come to the 4 ana issue of January 1898, where now 4 ana, the denomination is on top and the name of the state is on the bottom. And we also have the same stamp in emerald green and yellow green. 360 copies only produced and 720 copies of this one produced. Now we have a different issue when the dagger is now, it was always facing right, the dagger tip is now facing left. 720 copies issued. And we have the same one in yellow green. So we have green and yellow green. 1,320 copies were produced of this one. We have mint and used. Sorry, I think this is the next, yes. The next one is a half ana. It's a new series now. This is a half ana. This is a complete sheet, an extraordinary complete sheet. 16,000 copies were printed. Here's a cover with a single copy, and here's a registered cover with multiple copies. Then we come to the 1 ana from that issue. Here it is on a combination cover with King George V. This also happens to be the latest recorded date for a dagger issue stamp, because the dagger issue stamps stopped being produced just at the turn of the century. This is issued in 1918. We have a beautiful registered cover with a pair of the 1 ana and a half ana. This is on horizontally laid paper. They were all issued on vertical laid paper. This is something I've discovered, not previously recorded, and this is the only known copy of on horizontal laid paper. Here we have the 2 ana from the same series, pale green. 4,000 pieces were printed, And here we have a used copy, and we have a beautiful registered cover with the registered number over here going to Camp Bundi. And then we come to the last frame. This is an amazing item. This is the error with the the word do missing. It just says Ana on this. It's certified again by the BP. It's the only known example on cover of this great rarity. And here we have the same stamp. If you look over here, this stamp, the word do is missing, just Ana is written. If you look at all the other ones, it says do and Ana, the do is missing. And here we have a beautiful registered 3-color franking of Bundi. Then we come to the 8 Ana red. 6,000 pieces were printed. We have one on cover. Block of 14. I'm only showing 2 because it's lack of space, but this is actually block of 14. Then we have a beautiful block of 6 used. Then we come to the 1 rupee on late paper. 2,000 pieces were printed. Here's one on cover. And then we have the same thing on wove paper, mint and used copy. And that's the short story of Bundi Dagger issues.